Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Mind Muscle Connection podcast. Today is a solo episode, and I have a topic I want to dive into, and that is around which is more important for changing your body composition and improving health. Is it nutrition and or exercise there? And so again, real quick before we dive into this, when we say body composition, what are we talking about? We're talking about adding more muscle and losing body fat. So again, this can be over time, this can be in the short term, but either way, that's what I mean by body composition. And then improving health, to me, that's longevity, it's metabolic health, it's brain health, all aspects of health as well too. That's what lumps into that. What is going to be more important for that? Is it going to be training or is it going to be nutrition? And I bring this up because I just feel like a lot of people want to say that, oh, hey, it's nutrition. Hey, it's training. Hey, I want to get in shape. I need to focus on training. Or again, people just focus on one or the other. And so what I want to go over today is how both are equally important when it comes to changing your body and health, and both play their own roles in body composition and in long-term health. And having this approach of, oh, hey, this one's more important than the other, I think is going to hold you back. You can think about if you have someone who just focuses on nutrition. Again, that's great. You're going to be able to manipulate your body weight, but we may not be able to build as much muscle as we want. We may not be able to maintain as much muscle if we're not also focused on the exercise side of things. And again, I'll go into exercise is going to have its own unique benefits that can help with body composition as well too. And then you take someone who just works out, and again, they don't really focus on nutrition, and you're going to be missing out on your calorie balance, the right macros and food choice, right? And that could be impacting other things as well too. So again, you can see where they both start to impact each other. So again, both are going to be equally important. And again, they both are going to have their own distinct reasons why they're important. I'm going to go over those. So first, I just want to bring up a couple studies here about how we want to combine both when it comes to weight loss, but also just body composition in general. And I'll talk about why exercise is important if we're adding lean body mass as well too. So first, a study from Wu et al. In 2024, exercise combined with a low-calorie diet improves body composition, attenuates muscle mass loss, and regulates appetite in adult women with high body fat percentage but normal BMI. Conclusion was a 500-calorie reduction in daily intake alone and in combination with 90 minutes of moderate to vigorous aerobic exercise per week could both reduce weight and improve body comp in young adults with normal BMI and abnormal body fat percentage. So we're thinking like skinny fat avatar. More importantly, calorie restriction combined with exercise intervention was superior to calorie restriction alone in improving muscle mass loss and regulating appetite sensations. From that study, by reading the conclusions, again, you're going to be able to lose weight with, say, a calorie reduction. From a body comp standpoint, we may not be maximizing that out. Plus, we also have the appetite, regulating the appetite sensation as well, too, which is going to help you in that process. It's going to make it a little bit easier. We can see where including exercise and calorie restriction can also help with losing muscle, which in this specific avatar, high body fat percentage but normal BMI, really the big issue at play is going to be a lack of muscle there. So if this particular avatar just lost more weight, again, their body fat percentage could continue to increase there. And then we have another study from Waters I don't believe I have the date, but it's titled Effect of Aerobic or Resistance Exercise or Both on Intramuscular and Visceral Fat and Physical and Metabolic Function in Older Adults with Obesity while Dieting. Weight loss plus combination aerobic and resistance exercise was most effective in improving atopic fat deposition and physical and metabolic function in older adults with obesity. Now we're taking this a layer deeper, and we also want to make sure that when it comes to exercise, we also want to include both aerobic and weight training as well too. That's going to be the most effective to combine both in that process. And then another study by, oh man, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to, Bin Mahfaz et al. And this was in 2024, sorry. The effects of resistance exercise on cardiometabolic health and body comp in obese or overweight individuals undergoing dietary weight loss interventions, systematic review and meta-analysis. So they're reviewing other studies here. In people who are obese or overweight, the addition of resistance exercise to dietary restriction may enhance its beneficial effects. Current evidence therefore supports the inclusion of resistance exercise during weight loss to attenuate the loss of lean mass, increase fat mass loss, and improve muscle strength. So again, we're looking at body comp specifically. It's going to help in that weight loss process to make sure that we maintain our muscle, potentially build it, and we lose it via fat mass, right? So we got 3 studies here that just show you the importance of combining calorie restriction with exercise, but then also combining both aerobic and resistance training as well too there. Now, the biggest problem with all this is most people have never combined the two in a strategic way to maximize their results. So I feel like you either get someone that is really just focused on the nutrition side of things and they just wing their training, or you have someone who doesn't really care about the nutrition side and they just go about their training. And so because of that, people miss out on really maximizing their body composition. They'll feel like they're working hard, but they put too much stock into one single aspect of it, right? So I don't really like exercising, so I'm just going to restrict my calories. Or you have someone who's like, I really don't like messing with my nutrition. It's a pain in the ass. And so I'm just going to exercise. Again, both of those can help you. We're missing a piece of the pie here. And again, not only are they resistant to doing both, but also strategically doing both, right? I think you probably, if you listen to this, you probably do both, but have you strategically utilize both of these to maximize your results? And then another study did find that when people exercised and they didn't focus on their nutrition, they did still lose weight, but they didn't lose as much as they thought they were. They only lost, I think, of a quarter of what they thought should for what the amount of exercise they were doing. And again, it really just came down to the fact that they ended up consuming more calories than they thought. Again, that did help them get into a deficit, but ate back a lot of those calories there. And again, I'm going to tie all this in terms of where, if you just focus on one, where that can go wrong. So first, I want to go over the benefits of both and how they can help you with body composition. So first, let's talk about training and exercise. So the main reason why we want to exercise and train in combination with focusing on our nutrition is it helps us build muscle while keeping body fat lower. So again, by resistance training, it's going to send that signal to build muscle. Okay. We can't just protein our way or eat our way to more muscle. We have to send that signal to build muscle. So without that, we're not going to do that. And so by doing this, we in turn, that can help us build muscle, and it can keep body fat lower, especially when we proactively try and drop weight. So that's, to me, that's the first thing. Like, we have to send that signal to build muscle, and that is done through resistance training there. Next, training and exercise guides the food you eat to support muscle growth instead of fat storage, right? So again, if we're staying active, we're exercising, and we're resistance training, this is going to shuttle our nutrients to, again, more likely to use towards muscle growth instead of fat storage. Whereas if we don't send that signal, and we overconsume calories, it's going to be easier for us to gain body fat. And then again, it improves how our body handles the food that we give it, right? If we're not, it gives it a place to go, essentially, right? So again, it's more likely that it's going to go towards muscle and be used in the muscle versus, again, being used to be stored as fat. So again, it gives a place for this food to go if we're exercising there. It keeps our appetite in check and helps you burn more calories even at rest, right? So by building muscle, we can burn a little bit more calories at rest. And having muscle allows you to be at a little bit of a higher body weight. And again, that's going to help you burn more calories at rest. Plus, muscle is energy costly to build and maintain. And again, if we're not resistance training or exercising, we're not going to have that lean body mass that we need. So again, you can see where that impacts you there. And the appetite, right? So in that study I referenced earlier, appetite was a huge thing with exercise. So again, by exercising, it can help us keep our appetite in check, and that can help you consume fewer calories. It basically helps you regulate your appetite. I think that number is around like 6 to 7K. If you get less than that, you may find that you're a little bit hungrier. If you start to get more than, say, 12, 15,000 steps per day, that's where you may start to see increased hunger, but that's just because of an increased need of energy, right? So again, it helps increase our energy expenditure, okay, by staying active and moving, which in turn is going to, one, it's going to shuttle the food, like it's going to direct food to go in the right places. And then second, it's going to expend or increase your energy expenditure. So you're going to burn more calories overall, which in turn is going to allow you to lose weight on more calories or maintain your weight on more calories as well. And it's just going to allow you to bring in more calories in general. And training and exercise, I can't bring this up without bringing up the benefits from a physical and mental health standpoint. You're going to feel stronger. You're going to be able to do more things. You're going to feel more energized. From a mental health standpoint, staying active, moving is going to help you from a mental health standpoint. Again, is it going to be something that's going to cure depression or anxiety or anything like that? No, but it certainly helps. So again, I feel like I would be doing you a disservice if I didn't bring up how it can also impact our mental health as well too. And again, that comes into overall health. I may have missed that earlier. Mental health would be another thing there in terms of overall health, right? And if we're not exercising, again, it just has such great benefits from that standpoint. So that's the kind of the role of training and exercise, right? It's going to help us build lean body mass, maintain lean body mass. It's going to guide the food to places where we want it to go. It's going to help keep your appetite in check. You're going to expend more calories overall and potentially even at rest as well too. And obviously it helps support metabolic health for all those reasons that I just talked about. And it's going to help your physical health in terms of what you can do like outside of the gym, but then also from a mental health standpoint. So again, if we could see that we're just trying to drop weight or change our body composition via nutrition, again, that's a great strategy, but we're going to be missing out on these things. But let's talk about the role of nutrition. What is the role of nutrition in body composition and health? So the role of nutrition is going to be, it helps create the right balance of calories for losing fat or gaining muscle. Again, we need to eat food, right? We need food to survive and to live and for just, again, processes that are going to keep us alive. And so if we don't eat food, obviously that's not going to be great, or we wouldn't be able to live if we weren't consuming food. But we need to find that right balance of calories, because if we consume too many calories, then that can start to lead to fat gain over time. And if you're somebody who wants to drop weight, you need to get into the right energy balance. And if you're not getting into that energy balance that we need, which would be a deficit, you're not going to drop body fat, right? You're not going to have the body composition you want. But on the flip side, if we're always consuming very low calorie and we never give our body a chance to feel good at maintenance or a small surplus, it's going to be hard to build as much muscle as you want as well too. So again, the food is going to create the right balance of calories there. And so that's the role of food, is creating that balance there. Again, and it's super easy to overdo it or underdo it if we're not careful. So again, it literally provides the calories that we need there. And then it also provides you nutrients your body needs to feel healthy and keep your hormones balanced, right? Keep everything flowing and everything like that. So again, nutrients being like your micronutrients, right? Your vitamins and minerals. Again, we're going to get that through food. And if we could be getting the right amount of calories, but if all of that's coming from processed type food that don't really have many micronutrients, again, you're not going to feel your best. Your body's not going to be as efficient and effective as it could be at body comp change, and just how you feel. And again, things can start to get out of whack. Your gut health can start to get out of whack. Your hormones could start to get imbalanced. These are all things, downstream effects that can impact you later on. So again, it provides the nutrients we need to stay and feel healthy and to feel good. And again, we get that through food. So you can start to see where if you just focus on exercise, again, you may be not in the energy balance that you want to be in. You may be over consuming calories. If you're not focused on your nutrition, you may be under consuming calories if you're trying to maybe gain lean body mass. And then also your body may not be as effective at this change because you're not providing it the vitamins and minerals that it needs to perform optimally as well too. And then lastly, nutrition is going to support a healthy metabolism by keeping hunger in check and energy levels steady. So again, our food choices are big. If we are, again, just eating whatever we want and we're not really focused on getting protein or whole foods or foods with fiber, again, that can impact our hunger, right? So again, you start your day off with, say, just like cereal and it's just high sugar, low protein, you're going to be super hungry an hour later and you may have an energy crash on top of that. So again, we can use food to help us manage our hunger, to eat in the right balance, and to also keep our energy levels stable throughout, because at the end of the day, we can also use nutrition to help push our training as well too. So again, that's the role of nutrition and in exercise. Now, what I want to quickly go over is, again, exercise is going to help burn calories, maintain muscle, and it can improve your metabolic health, because we're from an insulin sensitivity standpoint, our blood glucose, blood sugar regulation, again, exercise is going to be great for those things. Okay. And it's obviously going to help us maintain muscle when we're trying to drop weight. And we can use exercise. It obviously is going to burn calories, like I said, and it can help enhance a deficit, but we don't want it to be the only primary focus. Again, you can go that route, but it's very hard to do and very time consuming. And to me, that's going to lead to a higher amount of burnout. And I have three main reasons why you don't want to focus on relying on exercise to get you into a deficit. From a deficit standpoint, again, it's just not going to be as effective as nutrition can be. It's going to be, again, we probably don't burn as many calories as we think during our workouts. You have to, again, the time aspect of it, again, it's easy to overeat calories. And when we increase our movement, that creates a deficit. It's even easier to subconsciously overeat calories there. And then we also have the constrained energy model. So not only do you not burn as many calories as you think from workouts, cardio, but the body's also smart and decreases energy burn elsewhere. And again, this is more pronounced when you're in an energy deficit, right? So what this means is you think you increase calories burned by 500, but really it was 300 or less. So again, the longer you do that, the more you do, the more weight you lose. This constrained energy model is probably going to be something that happens, right? And then again, it's just a higher risk of fatigue and burnout, because you're going to be spending a lot of time trying to create that energy deficit through training and exercise. And again, we're talking, hey, you would take the approach of relying on cardio, because weight training is not going to burn very many calories during that. So again, you're going to experience burnout and fatigue. And again, that study that I referenced earlier showed that when somebody just focused on that, it just wasn't as effective, or the weight loss was less effective there. And then when we talk from a muscle building standpoint, if we just focus on training, like, yes, we're sending that signal to build muscle, but if we're not eating enough protein or we're under consuming calories for too long, and again, we're not focused on some timing around nutrition, you're not going to build as much muscle as you want. And honestly, if you go super low with protein, you are going to really be shooting yourself in the foot. So that's why we don't want to focus just on exercise from that standpoint, right? From a nutrition standpoint, again, it's much easier to control intake than it is to burn off excess calories. It's just super easy to overconsume calories in today's modern environment. It can just be erased super quick, where you spend all this time trying to create a deficit through movement, and then you can go and literally have 3 donuts and you're probably at maintenance now at that point. So it's just super easy to overdo nutrition if we're not careful with it. And so again, that's again the main reason why we don't want to focus on that for nutrition that's why we want to make sure we really focus on the nutrition side of things there. So to finish this out, again, the problem is that most people either they only focus on one and ignore the other. So again, in this episode, I talked about the importance of combining both for, again, not just weight loss, but also, again, muscle gain. So again, when we look at body composition and then overall health as well too, right? It's super important that we focus on both, again, for the reasons of body composition. And then, like I said, overall health. And if we don't exercise, we're missing out on benefits from that, from a body comp and health perspective. And then if we just focus on exercise and not nutrition, again, there's things that we're missing out on as well too. And then the other issue is just poor / suboptimal strategies for one or the other. So this would be like crash dieting. So it's like, hey, you diet, you do focus on nutrition, but you're just crash dieting. And again, we talk about the importance of your calories and what those calories are made up of and how that can impact how you feel. And again, where your body prefers to either store energy or take energy away from. And then again, training not specific to goal. That would be the other big one. There is where people are exercising, but there's not really any structure to it. So the biggest one would be like resistance training. People resistance train, but they're not really focused on progressive overload. They're just trying to feel the burn. And so they're doing stuff, but it's not specific to maintaining or building muscle. So true success comes when you strategically combine the two. And this is where the magic happens. So how do you combine them? So ideally, we would lift weights a minimum of 2 to 3 times per week. We want to maintain overall physical activity, so about 6 to 10K steps per day, or just doing something that you enjoy daily. A minimum of 1 to 2 cardio sessions per week, and this is where we get our heart rate up. Again, ideally, we would break it up to a kind of longer duration, lower intensity exercise bout, and then a higher intensity like interval style workout there. We want to eat enough protein, around 1 gram per pound of body weight. We want to eat more nutrient dense foods. So again, fruit, veggie, and then foods that just provide our body with nutrients that we need, and also supplementing with important micronutrients. Easy way to go is a multivitamin, a good quality multivitamin, but also other nutrients that you may be lacking in your diet. And then have some way to monitor, track your food intake. If you can do that, at least for a period of time, that's going to allow you to then potentially not do that long term, but we do need to do that for a short period of time, at least to do that. If we can combine those things, this will help us with our body composition and our overall health. So I hope this episode helps you figure out like, hey, here's why I need to focus on both and why I shouldn't exclude one or the other. And you know why you're doing them versus a lot of times I just feel like people just do it to just do it. Right. Oh, hey, I know I need to watch my calories because I need to lose weight, but it's like, why exactly are we doing that? And then same thing with exercise. Why exactly are we doing that? Because I feel like if you know the why behind why you're doing them, you're more likely to stick to it. Right now, because again, my goal here would be like, okay, well, again, I just was going through the motions of my training. Hey, now I know I need to train to build muscle, and I also want to train to help expend more energy, but also for my overall health. And again, it allows my body to shuttle the food to where it needs to go. And then from a nutrition perspective, hopefully you understand, hey, I'm monitoring my nutrition to be in the right energy balance to set my body up for whatever goal I have, also to provide my body with the vitamins and minerals it needs. And again, to help manage hunger, to help me stay on track in that process so I don't feel like crap as well too. So again, if you have any questions on this episode, let me know. Hopefully this was helpful. If you haven't yet, give me a follow on Instagram, Jeff, HOEHN_. So I'm most active on social media. If you found this podcast to be helpful in any way, if you could leave a rating and review, that'll help more people find it. And then lastly, if you are struggling with either one of these and you need some help in terms of setting up a game plan, my free 30-minute strategy call is for you. We can help figure out where your big trouble spots are, where you want to go, and how we are going to get you there. Again, the link to that is in the show notes. So that's it for this episode. I'll chat with you guys next time.